Alrighty, good morning folks, good afternoon. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Everyone's well rested and ready to go for this week. I know it was kind of a long week being the first one after fall break. So let's get right into it. Bell work. Again, make sure that you are on Play Posit, that you're not on YouTube, and make sure that you are answering the questions, as now I am starting to grade these and making sure that everyone is doing them. And for the multiple choice and everything, that we are making sure we are on the right track. So I can easily tell, okay, person A that I grade, he has it or she has it, but this person has gotten all of the multiple choice questions wrong. So maybe we need to reteach this. So we are moving on today to the Magna Carta. Now the Magna Carta is something that we will talk about in this class quite a bit, that we'll reference back to. And once you start your freshman year of high school, you will talk about it a lot there as well. And probably some in 8th grade also. So bell work, again, if you are struggling with these, I don't mind helping you at all. However, normally I want you to check your notes. They're probably going to be in your most recent notes that you took. So yes, for 1, 2, and 3, again, preview is always just kind of a guess. 1, 2, and 3 will be in the most recent notes dealing with Battle of Hastings and Norman invasion. So make sure you're taking notes as well. Okay, so inside the Rutherford County Courthouse, on the square, we have a copy of the Magna Carta. Okay, so we talked about the Roman legacy, we talked about Lady Justice is also, so they clearly have an impact on what we do today, and we try to make sure that we are on the same page and kind of give recognition to how we do things and why we do it. So the Magna Carta was signed in 1215. Okay, why do we still reference something that's 2018? So a long time ago, 900 years ago, why do we still reference this? Why is this on one of our buildings today, 900 years later? First thing we're going to start off with is the interactivity. We're not actually doing this just kind of playing along. All right, let's say I gave you all of these different blocks, and I needed you to spell few freedoms with the blocks during a 5-minute limit. Okay, let's say you have one king. All right, you have one king, and additional rules to the game will be given by your king. So imagine you have blocks in front of you. You're spelling out this phrase, few freedoms. Okay, so the king's power before the Magna Carta. Let's say he's going to choose a group and remove a full bag of blocks and distribute them to other groups. And then he's going to take about 1/5 of their blocks. Now these blocks, let's say they're your money or something very valuable to them. All right, so before the Magna Carta, he had the power to take someone's personal property and use it for the benefit of others. Next rule, choose a player from several groups and remove them from the group. They will need to sit at a seat in isolation from the group. This is representative of king had power to place individuals in jail without a trial. Okay, so no proven innocent until proven guilty. No, whether you're guilty or not, king had power to put you in there without a trial. This is right before the Magna Carta. Choose a group and tell them that they must now spell law changes out of the blocks. The king's word was law, meaning that the king could change the laws easily. Okay, so if Donald Trump, if he wants to make an amendment, if he wants to go to war with someone, Barack Obama, every single president is supposed to go through Congress. We have the system of checks and balances. Nuh-uh, not here. All right, the king's word was law, so whatever he wanted, he could change the laws. So if I say, you know what, I want everyone in my kingdom to wear red on this day, better do it. Because if not, going back to the rule number 2, I can throw you in jail without a trial. When time is called, allow one group more time. All right, this is going to deal with the king often acting as the laws did not apply to him. So he could break certain laws and it wouldn't matter. Again, there's no accountability, or as we say in this class, going back to the Roman legacies, there's no checks and balances. No one's really checking him. All right, so Magna Carta and Parliament. Read this on page 262, and some questions will pop up. Shouldn't take you too long, but make sure you're answering those. Go ahead and read that now and get a little bit more familiar. All right, so preview. what is the picture saying about the king? This is going back to your bell work, okay? What is the picture saying about the king? Basically, this guy here has all the power, and we talked back during the Roman legacies about how we want things to be equal, everyone's equal under the law. Here, this guy is above that. He's standing on top of that. It does not matter to him. So, if you didn't have that for your bell work, maybe you want to change that. That's fine. Magna Carta. All right, go ahead and title this Magna Carta. And then again, the notes will show up. Don't freak out. The notes will show up on the side of the play positive. All right, so in England, the nobles forced the English king to sign a document called the Magna Carta. Whenever you want something done, okay, this goes for people after the Magna Carta. This goes for if you want something done at this school, if you want something done once you get out of here and go on to your jobs, and you want something done as far as something changed, whenever people are unified, people are together, that is when things get done. So, group of nobles forced the English king to sign a document called the Magna Carta. Okay, so they went to him, said, "You better you have to do this, all right? Otherwise, this whole system of feudalism that we've been talking about, it does not work." All right, so again, we're in red here, but you do not need to write this down until they show up on the side. So the Magna Carta limited the power of the English king. Many say that the Magna Carta is the foundation of constitutional governments, which we are one. We have our own constitution. So government with limited power, citizens have guaranteed rights. All right, some of the rights the king had to recognize were habeas corpus. A person could not be held in jail without reason. So this goes back to one of our rules with our intro activity. Trial by jury. People accused of a crime got a public trial with a jury. Do we do that today? Yes. Common laws based on customs and past judges' decisions. So, for example, if a court case comes up and it goes to the Supreme Court makes a declaration, or if this certain law is broken, that's what it's going to be from here on out. That's what is called precedent, or also known as past judges' decisions. And independent judiciary, even the king had to follow the law. So some people would argue this is not the case today. Famous people, politicians, they get away with more than what, say, me or you would, a regular citizen would. So the king could not control judges, and they had to follow law as well. All right, later nobles created a parliament to advise the king and create laws like our Congress today. England still has a parliament today. So make sure that we are writing these notes down. I'll go ahead and take a break here for, should be showing up shortly. Okay, so these ideas were new, kind of. The ancient Roman Republic had these same ideas, but then again, you had the Dark Ages, and whenever something happens, remember this going forward in your modern world history, okay? Whenever things are good, it doesn't really matter who the president is or who the leader is. Whenever the economy's flowing, whenever people are happy and money in the pocket, they could say it's because the president. Probably there's a lot of reasons. But when things are bad, people look to one single figure. The reason Adolf Hitler, you probably heard of him, was able to gain so much power in Germany is because he put money in people's pockets. He gave them jobs, the money, so now they're happy. And he's able to give them all these ideas about his craziness and everything he believes in. Same thing here with the Dark Ages. Kings were able to come to power, but people just kind of latched onto them, and the kings realized, hey, these people will do whatever I want. So I just need to, use this kind of my own advantage. And a lot of kings took it for granted, okay? So our own government in the USA got its ideas from the Magna Carta. So you started with the Roman Republic. They had these ideas. Roman Republic declines for reasons we've talked about. Now we have the Dark Ages. Magna Carta comes around. Now you have some more Dark Ages that we're going to talk about going forward. Then you're going to have the Enlightenment, which we are going to talk about at the end of the year. But this is basically where we're going to have the scientific revolution, and we're going to have all these great inventions with science, and some Enlightenment thinkers are going to say, hey, what we did in science, let's try and do for government. So let's put these ideas into practice. All right, so the Magna Carta limits the power of the king, and now we have, after the Enlightenment, this is what inspires the Thomas Jefferson, the Ben Franklins to go against the British, forming our U.S. Constitution. Okay, so Magna Carta, big thing, limits the powers of the king, 1215, 900 years earlier, but now this is going to inspire many different countries, not just our own, to make sure that one person does not have too much power, that the king's or the leader of the country's power is limited. Okay, so you're either watching this, depending on what class you're in, you're either watching this at the beginning of class or at the end of class. Regardless, you should be, hopefully class is somewhere around halfway through, or no matter where it is, if you're at the beginning, you are working on your, whatever we did on Friday, your coat of arms. Yes, your coat of arms. You're working on your coat of arms. Too many projects. I was going to say Justinian poster, but no, we're way past that. You are working on your coat of arms. That is due at the end of class, so make sure you are working on it. I will put up the requirements again. So, toodaloo until next time.